Yeah, I've sort of been, I would say, thinking about the same thing, but like almost from a perspective of semantic justice or like informational symmetry or informational equity, because words and symbols have such biases. I was thinking about this earlier, like the human face is proof that we live through symbols. Like it's the seed of our conceptual self-identification. If somebody's face got burned off, they'd still have an identity. It's just they wouldn't have that candy seed. But people accept things all the time that just inherently equal because our
Well, even when you were saying that, there was like a phrase, right? People take everything on face value. Like even face value is like that term that you could use like that, like backs up or whatever that thread you're.
Yeah. But then our meme of faces has been shaped by just using it in that sense for words, because words certainly have a very face-like quality, I guess. Shallow, that's the word I'm looking for. I'm rambling. Shit.
That's what I think I mean too about like branding, because it's just like on the surface, and like there's a lot of like there's another talk that I was listening to, and I think it's true too, like because my own like growing up like in the time and space that I grew up, and then like how I formed my own like identity, like I could relate to what this one guy was talking about. He was like, "Oh, I'm a little older, and I find it like I forgot what he said, like kind of like in ill taste to like promote myself." But like younger people don't feel that way. They don't have that like hang up. Like they're always like branding, like they're always like plugging, and like that doesn't seem weird to them. Where like my ethos is a little bit older and like punk, and like, oh, you know, like if you're like I find it like cheesy if someone does that, you know what I mean?
That's also part of the fragmentation.
Yeah.
You know, like my little brother is 20 something, and his friends and all of, you know, like his girlfriend and everyone is like self-promoting in a way, but they are, you know, like they just trying to do art and share meaningful things with others, you know. Isn't that, well, some of them, other one is just a narcissistic thing. but yeah, there's everything happening. all kinds. It's really funny. But yeah, I feel like I can't, you know, I really can't even, I think I don't allow myself to channeling that kind of information, you know, strategy, marketing, all of that is like so lame. Well, I don't know. It's like, man, you know, it's cool. You know, the ideas behind it are cool, but the aim, which is like, you know, it's competition and take pieces of the market, and you know, like, all that's a stressful thing. Really adult thing, you know, like being competitive and maintain secrets and all of that. It's crazy out there.
Well, it's kind of the Protestant thing, though, like being very competitive where you're compelled, but also being super self-effacing, because if you catch yourself being prideful, then you have to admit that you've been working hard to try and earn your way into heaven, which is no. So,
John, this reminds me what you mentioned earlier, and I think I have maybe something to it. like when you where is the best moment to meditate.
Oh
So
yeah,
at the beginning, you will need some discipline, and discipline is like, whatever you need. Like put an alarm, a
Yeah.
a reminder in your phone, whatever you need to remind to do it. And when you get yourself together to do it and acquire the discipline to do it, then it will get easier to get into that frequency. So yeah, at the beginning it is little bad. Another thing is that this that you're mentioning right now about the way that we humans learn about our from our experience had to change. Like people doesn't need to suffer that much anymore. We're getting the tools to be able to at least make it easier for them,
yeah.
right? Because
Though,
new generations have these other sensibility that the system has actually, right? Like the capability to be sensitive to very specific things about everyone.
which kind of gives you the sense of timing, kairos, as opposed to chronos. Yeah, man. Thanks. Great. You-
Cool.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good
But
place to end stuff. Unless
Yeah.
anybody had anything else to bring up. Were you gonna say something, John?
oh, final connection, I guess,
Yeah.
to what you two were saying earlier about like taking time to properly enter the flow, and then you sort of wait for that the indicator from the universe, but that that can be frustrating over time, and want you can get anxious, which I suppose points back to the meditation angle. So yeah, that's I've been making categories and task cards, been revising my schedule. It's actually very simple now, believe it or not. But
It's
I'll try
very
to.
easy, John. You will find that you will get addictive to it. That's
Yeah.
simple.
Well,
You will get addictive.
that's what I was kind of like pointing to with like the dreaming. Like I got like too into it. I got like too.
Yeah.
I needed to like stop. Like I got too rigid. Like.
Yeah, it's a way of life.
But
Definitely.
it's also too what to just to back up what within the vacuum. Like it's like some kind of like mental muscle memory kind of thing.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah. It's an exercise.
Yeah.
and the clinging is unnecessary.
Yeah.
So
Totally. All right. Well, guys,
Okay.
thanks for showing up, and it was fun. Until
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
every time we do this, it reminds me why I do things that we do.
Yeah, and
Cool.
even this is becoming like what I wanted to become is like one like a long practice for us to like come together. Like I think that's like the thing is like we have to be all right with, and I think it is easier, but like without having it's so scaled up, right? It's so like this thing that we're chasing or whatever that we develop our own individual natural rhythms, and also to this one that connects in these small ways to the tribe in a sense. And like that, because I remember there was this argument or like this discussion kind of in Team Human I got kind of I found it interesting because like one was like, oh, if you don't agree with this, like just don't talk about this or whatever, because he wanted to talk about it, and it was about like Chat GPT and about like creativity and inspiration, and that's like the thing too, the branding, like they should just like call them large language models and not AI. But anyways, because like there's
Have you?
all this like miscommunication that happens around it, because like it doesn't replace, or it can't like replace, or it's not on the same level as like this, like just having people to bounce and feedback loop like your ideas, and like be like, oh, I've been thinking this, or oh, what have you been thinking about, like that is like generates like so much more, and I think
Interconnections.
building this like these new like social feedback loops, and is important, creating
Yeah.
these mandala narratives that create these like narrative fairy cages.
Have you seen the latest South Park episode about because they don't want to do it?
Yeah.
They
Chat
delegate
GPT,
every
what's the best
message.
thing? Just
Yeah.
dude, I just
They just copy paste their girlfriend's message to it.
oh
So they don't even need to know what they're talking about.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Dude, there
Really
was this
fast.
article on Vice and it said, "Oh, I let Chat GPT control my life for 72 hours or whatever." Just like, oh god,
Amazing.
yeah.
It's
I heard
amazing.
someone say on a podcast that all the buzz at South by Southwest was for AI and like none of it for crypto.
Yeah. Like last year it was NFTs, and this year it's AI.
But that's the sensitivity thing I'm talking about. Like the interaction with the
Dude,
internet it totally changed with
yeah,
it.
it's so crazy how like something like a brand or like a thing could like, it's so
Yeah.
vaporware where it's like 1 minute it didn't exist, the next minute it's like ubiquitous, and the next minute it's gone.
Exactly.
Like no one's talking about it. That just happened 5 months ago. Like that's not a thing anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It's so fast. It's about quantum computing also. Like quantum computing can defeat or break into the cryptography of blockchains.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a threat out there, like in a way for that. But I was talking with the chat about it, like collecting data. And yeah, it's interesting because quantum computing is actually that, like when it gets out of the event horizon, we lose control, and the response can be whatever. Right? But it's not the same with reality. We have to trust. We're not qubits.
All right, guys.
Okay, have a good night. Later.
Good night.
Okay, bye, guys.